You can find William Merritt Chase's Idle Hours at the Amon Carter Museum in Fort Worth. But if you're looking for the place he painted it, you'll have to head to the Hamptons outside New York City, along with our Rita Braver.
Oh, the Hamptons. That fun in the sun mecca of broad beaches and big fancy houses, known as a summer playground for high rollers, like rap mogul Russell Simmons,
On your squad?
rock star John Bon Jovi, and director Steven Spielberg and his special friends. The party scene is legendary.
Everybody put one all the way to the right here. Everybody right here.
But there's another side to this enclave on the eastern end of Long Island, one you might not have heard about, the art scene.
We know today that there have been 600 artists since the 1890s that have been important to American and international art that have worked in the Hamptons.
Trudy Kramer is director of the Parrish Art Museum in Southampton. She says art in the Hamptons really started as the 19th century was ending.
When a group of artists, including William Merritt Chase, who was probably America's foremost impressionist painter, came out to sketch because of the light.
The famous Hamptons light, clear and translucent, has been attracting painters ever since.
These are not little dollhouse dolls.
These replicas by Joe Fig meticulously reproduce the studios of some of the many artists who have worked here. There is the late Jackson Pollock, the pioneering abstract expressionist. And there is Chuck Close, famed for a technique known as photorealism. He still works in Bridgehampton.
Are these duplicates of actual paintings?
Yes, yes.
Husband and wife artists April Gornick and Eric Fischel, each with a distinctive style, are featured in their side-by-side studios. And Kramer says over the years, artists have reveled in being part of a creative community.
There is this thing about camaraderie of shared aesthetic among artists where they want to be together, and so they're here.
That's one of the reasons a new generation of young painters like Nick Weber work here. As a child, he spent summers in the Hamptons.
Did you realize when you were growing up that there was this sort of artistic tradition out here?
I did, yeah. I started to be aware of it when I was around 12. And so you started to get an idea that this was had a strong sense of history.
Weber is one of the local artists whose work was featured at the annual Scope Art Fair in the Hamptons. There was also work by Michael Combs, whose family has been on Long Island since the 1640s. He says his offbeat version of trophy animals, as well as his birds with bodies made from antique bedpans, are inspired by family members who carved hunting decoys.
My father is a carver, and my grandfather is a carver, my great-grandfather is a carver, and it's inevitable that it became an influence.
But local artists are by no means the only ones featured at this fair.
How many galleries are represented here?
55 galleries in 20 countries represented.
20 countries, wow.
Alexis Hubschman is founder of the Scope Fair. He says that another factor that makes the Hamptons such an important art hub is that so many wealthy collectors flock here.
You have a wonderful group of people who have a sense of really the quality of good artwork, and also a bit of risk takers. There's a reason hedge funders are here.
Risk takers like Richard Extract, real estate developer and owner of Hamptons Cottages and Gardens magazine.
For you, this must just be like constant temptation,
It's
right?
fun, yeah. But it's expensive fun.
His home is evidence that some of those big Hampton spreads house some major art collections.
This is an artist named Will Ryman. I bought this at the Scope Art Fair when it first came here.
Extract says he has a taste for idiosyncratic pieces.
Yeah, most people would say, oh, what is that? But for me, I said, oh, wow, that's beautiful. So it's weird, but I sort of like weird.
This is the one that people said you have to look at.
She's
well known
yes.
in the Hamptons.
What can I say about it? I mean, it's self-evident. I just fell in love with her. Because she's damaged, but she's also sort of attractive in a strange way at the same time.
Extract collects pieces from all over the world, including this work he commissioned from Hampton's artist, Billy Sullivan.
So you had your wife painted, not yourself.
Correct. She's a little better looking.
Which brings us back to the Scope Art Fair, where dealer James Solomon showed us around artist Peter Dayton's installation piece, dedicated to depictions of someone else whose family has a home in the Hamptons.
This is all Paris Hilton.
It is. It's about pop culture, certainly, and it's really about where we are and where we place our importance.
A reminder, of course, that despite all the best intentions of all the people at this fair, the image of the Hamptons is still not that of a center for arts and artists.
It's more like party.
It's not necessarily so. Maybe in the future, it will have more recognition in the arts.
So you're probably happy to see all this attention.
I'm delighted. Absolutely. There'll be more.
Madeline's mother